Hello everyone, welcome to Big Because I Can with Ridhan. Today it's truly an honor to welcome a powerhouse of passion and purpose, Mrs. Romal Surana. She is a TEDx speaker, parenting coach, author, and an award-winning child adolescent counselor. She is the founder of Nanagyan Foundation, a mental and emotional health initiative that has impacted thousands through workshops, counseling, and social campaigns. Her work spans across the government, private institutions, NGOs, and special education. She's earned accolades like the Karmavir Chakra Award, the Bharatiya Shikshan Padma Bhushan Puraskar, and a place in the most 100 inspiring women. On a personal note, Romal Auntie was the first one to support my initiative once upon our minds, and ever since then, she has been inspiration and a huge support in my journey. So let's welcome the ever-empowering Romal Surana.
Thank you so much, Bacha, for having me here. And when you said that I have been a part of your journey, rather you have given me opportunity to listen to a lot of new stories because you created that platform and we gelled together, we understood each other, and we created an impact in our own way. Right?
Right, true, Auntie. So, Auntie, first I want to know about you. Let's start from your childhood.
Okay.
So, how were you as a child?
Yeah. Honestly speaking, as a child, I was the most rebellious child. The scene that you see in me, very calm, composed.
Yeah.
If you ask my parents, they'll say, "ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं था." I was the most rebellious child. The reason now I understand about my personality is that I had my learning challenges. I was not able to express myself, and because of that, when you want to express and not being understood by others, you become frustrated and then you rebel. That was happening with me throughout my childhood. But at certain point, things changed. So that change came when I was in 11th and 12th.
Okay.
Till 10th, I was in girls' school. So the scenario was the same. I didn't have friends. Today also, when people say that they have very good school friends, honestly speaking, ऐसा कोई नहीं था जिसको मैं आज भी बहुत ज़्यादा याद करती हूँ. But 11th, 12th was there where there was a shift.
Okay.
And I was among those who could speak English because in that school, very few could speak fluent English.
Okay.
So बोलते हैं ना अंधों के बीच में काना राजा. I was like that, and that gave me that confidence, that skill, that leadership that has been continued after that. I never fall of confidence because of that environment which was been given to me in 11th and 12th, especially by my mentors, my friends, and I could understand myself better that I have more. I want more freedom. I don't like to be, be there in four walls. I want to explore. And that whole environment was given to me in my 11th and 12th, Sri Rajendra High School.
Okay. Wow, that was a wonderful experience, Auntie. I've heard that in your younger years you had dyslexia.
Yes.
So that must have been really tough. And plus being pressured as well was tough. So how did you manage your studies and cope up with these challenges?
In our time, there was no dyslexia as such.
Okay.
Dyslexia तारे जमीन पे आने के बाद में लोगों को ज्यादा पता चला है honestly. पर हमारे टाइम पे ना ऐसा पता नहीं था और सबको लगता कि ये पढ़ती नहीं है, इसको समझता नहीं है. टैग्स बहुत थे और मैं एक जॉइंट फैमिली से हूँ और हमारे यहाँ पे कंपैरिजन भी उतना ही होता था. सेम एज का बच्चा तो अच्छा कर रहा है, तुमको क्या प्रॉब्लम है? So all these things were there, but the best part in all, there was no pressure from my parents. कोई भी और कंपेयर कर ले, बट मेरे पापा से मुझे कभी, मेरे पेरेंट्स से स्पेशली, हमें कोई कंपैरिजन नहीं था. हमको पूरा घर कंपेयर करता था, बट हमारे पापा मम्मी नहीं करते. That was the only plus point that we had. And my father never expected me or my brother, because we both have dyslexia.
Okay.
He had little more severe condition than me. I was on a little mild part, but he was on a little severe part.
Oof.
So we both have our own tussles with regards to understanding the language, spellings, comprehending.
Yeah.
But my father never ever, judged or compared us with anybody else. But the only thing, he was aware of, my children will be successful whatever they do in their life.
Oh.
So I precisely remember one incident.
Okay.
Where my father said, it was, I think, 15 days prior to my board exam in 10th.
Okay.
He said, I want 75%, not even 74.99, because during our time 75 was a big distinction. Pass was a something, today to 99 is also very less, but that time 75 was a great deal. So my father wanted that, you should have, because you have a caliber, and this was 15 days prior.
Okay.
Magic can't happen in 15 days, right?
Yeah.
Because your studies are already been done, you're just revising and all.
Mm-hmm.
And that word that he said was so strong that I scored 75.06 in my 10th.
That's
Dot exact 75. But that was it. But after that, I never fall off any of the exam below 75. I have been scoring above that only. So
Okay.
my 12th, I was 79. In my graduation, I was university topper 7th. In my MBA, I was gold medalist in finance.
Wow.
After that, whatever, I have done NLP, I have done my child and adolescent counseling,
Yeah.
I have done my all autism course, which are from Pune University. All I've scored A plus only throughout. So this was because once he said that, बोलना पापा का बोलो कई बार पत्थर की लकीर बन जाता है. So for me, my father is like that.
Oh wow, that's amazing. And as well, today's Father's Day.
That's true.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Papa, happy Father's Day.
True. Yeah. I mean, I'm grateful for my parents for doing so much for me. Without them, who am I?
Absolutely. Yeah. Who are we? Just because of them, because they trusted you when the world was not trusting you, or they don't know their potential. So I truly believe if my father would have been one who would have compared me during that time, I don't think me or my brother would have excelled the way we are today.
Okay.
It's him, his belief in us has brought where we are. He used to say, whenever I used to say earlier, पापा काम नहीं बन रहा है, कुछ हो नहीं रहा है, मैं इतनी मेहनत कर रही हूँ, रिजल्ट नहीं आ रहा है. One dialogue that he made was, काम करते रहो, समय पे ना कुआं तेल देगा, खोदते रहो, आएगा, रिजल्ट आएगा, टेंशन मत लो. And see, the consistent work is paying me off.
Yeah. So as a strong and successful person you are today, did you ever imagine this life for you as a child?
Honestly speaking, today is success or not, I can't say, but I have always imagined myself as a person who can be a helping hand. And I'm blessed that I'm able to do so. Success है नहीं है ये अभी बोलना थोड़ा सा मुश्किल है, बट येस हेल्पिंग हैंड हूँ नहीं हूँ, येस आज की डेट में तो हूँ डेफिनेटली, और वो कंटिन्यू करूँगी. सो मेरे नाम की भी ना एक अलग कहानी है. मेरी बुआ ने मेरा नाम रखा था रोमल.
हाँ.
तो रोमल का एज सच मीनिंग ना किसी को पता नहीं है.
ओके.
कि रोमल का मतलब है क्या. आप डिक्शनरी में देखोगे आपको कोमल मिलेगा, रोमा मिलेगा, रमोला मिलेगा. रोमल ऐसा है नहीं, बट मेरे घर पे इफ यू वी आर 7 cousins. तो रूपल my elder cousin, then Sonal, then Dhaval, then I come. So it was all la. So probably my name was Romal. But काफी सालों तक ना नाम ही नहीं पता था कि रोमल क्यों है. And I used to cry a lot. तो लगता था शायद मैं रोती इतना हूँ इसलिए रोमल नाम रखा है. But this perspective changed when I did my NLP.
Okay.
सो सर ने कहा कि नाम तो जो आप आपके नाम के बारे में सोचते हो वो ही है. सो राम वर्मा, माय मेंटर, ही सेड, व्हाट डू यू थिंक ऑफ योर नेम? आई सेड रो और मल है. रो मल, इट्स अ संधि ऑफ टू वर्ड्स. सो आई सेड, सर मैं वो बनना चाहती हूँ जो किसी के आंसू पोंछूं. एंड फ्रॉम दैट टाइम, the moment I started perceiving my name in this way, my journey shifted.
Okay.
So till 2017, I've done a lot of freelancing work. Nanna Gyan was not in existence.
Okay.
The moment I changed my name, Nanna Gyan also came in existence. So this all happened after NLP, after the first session of Ram Verma sir class.
Oh, that's amazing. Do you credit manifestation for few things?
Yes, manifestation works like anything in my life. I think the most important part have been manifested this way only. I gave you the example of 75%, right?
75%.
Father said it and it manifested. Who thought I'll be able to do it? Who's only on 65. 10% shift in 15 days was not possible. Rather, my husband was also manifested that way. So yes, manifestation, a lot of things manifest unknowingly, but I do believe in manifesting when you have very pure intentions of doing it. Like I'm a management student coming into altogether into psychology, helping special need children.
Okay.
It's all because of manifestation, no?
True.
Because a very logical mind who's into finance can't go in the field of special needs. There's a transition that has happened with that time in the journey.
Okay. I also truly believe in manifestation. So, manifestation is like one practice where you truly desire something with your deepest emotions.
Absolutely.
And I also believe that you should take steps for it. And just saying that I truly want this, that will never get you anywhere.
Absolutely.
You must take your steps, and then only you can achieve that goal of yours. And often we even confuse manifestation as attraction, but they both are very different things.
Absolutely. For manifestation, I feel if in your manifestation you are more open to learn, give, the things you get very faster. Right? What I know about you, when you started your journey, you wanted to help so many children, and the way were not that clear where to go, how to go. But the motive was very clear that you wanted to help a lot of authors to come and share their stories, right?
Yes.
And steps taken with pure intention, they have manifested.
True.
Similarly with me, when I was not aware, how am I going to do with Nanna Gyan? What am I going to do with Nanna Gyan? शुरू तो कर दिया है, and how am I going to promote things कैसे होगी? But see, when your motives are clear, when you know what you are doing deep down, results do manifest and things are seen.
True. So, Auntie, I've been associated with your initiative, Umeed Awards, giving recognition to children with special needs.
Yes.
And I've also witnessed the Inclusion Carnival, giving a platform to children to share their talents. And I also know that you play a very big role in counseling and supporting these children with special needs, and that is something I truly admire.
Thank you.
And especially in Nanna Gyan. So, what was your motive behind this, and when did it start?
See, as I told you, we were talking about manifestation.
Yes.
So there was a child called Anas Majumdar who came to me, and I was not aware of what a special need is. I was dealing with the children who are, we call them as LDs, like who have learning difficulties.
Yes.
But when this child came, he was very different. And to help him, I started digging in what is it exactly.
Okay.
Then I got to know about autism. And once I got to know about autism, then how do I help people with autism? It started pricking me, kya kar sakte ho aap? And I started searching about it. So you require a proper education for it.
Okay.
Proper syllabus where it could be taught, because it is not something that could be done by everyone, because it requires understanding, patience, dedication to deal with those children, because their parents are also they are also not aware. They are also running around for different therapies. And this is how when this came to me, I wanted to help Anas, and I started working with him.
Yeah.
And eventually I landed up with Sundarji's. I did many courses with Sundarji's, and then a proper course which they have
Yeah.
of autism and special needs.
Okay.
I did my PG diploma in that.
Okay.
And while doing that, I realized that parents are working so hard to make their children recognize. They have a lot of potential, they have so much caliber, but how do we recognize it?
Yeah.
So our first thing was to give them awards.
Yeah.
But giving them award is just one step.
One step. True.
What next after that?
Yeah.
Then we came up with the Inclusion Carnival.
Yeah.
Wherein ठीक है awards दे रहे हैं, एक platform create हो रहा है, but still there is a gap. So this year in Harmony Fest we did our job fair also along with it.
Okay.
So, and let me tell you, this time we have placed 10 students, and they all have started working.
Oh wow.
So, you know, journey starts with one by one baby steps.
Yeah.
From step one, you don't know what's there at 10, 100 step
Yeah.
above. So you take and you realize, okay, this is something where we can add on.
Yeah.
Here we can add on. So this is how things go. So
Understood.
inspiration is as every time you need to upgrade yourself. What next? What next? Because I get bored with the same things very easily. So कुछ तो नया होना चाहिए. तो आप जो कर रहे हो उसमें क्या नया कर रहे हो?
Yeah.
So that led me to what we
Yeah.
started with Umeed, then Inclusion, and now to Job Fair.
Okay. A wonderful motive you started with. So, how do you make children with special needs feel confident and happy?
See, to make anybody happy or confident is to accept them as they are. Rather than making them they are special or they are someone else, you have to accept them as they are. The moment you accept them, their urge that somebody is there with you ends there, and they are there in their whole behavior. And then it becomes easy to work with them.
Yeah.
Then it becomes easy because you are accepting them as they are. You don't question them. तुम ऐसे क्यों बैठे हो? तुम ऐसे क्यों कर रहे हो? ऐसे नहीं, वैसे नहीं. When nothing is there, na, they themselves behave in a very different way. So आपको कुछ देना नहीं पड़ता, आपको सिर्फ accept करना पड़ता है कोई भी चीज़ के लिए.
Very true, Auntie. And I also believe that they need patience, they need respect, they need love, just like us.
Yes. And you know, they understand things that we cannot understand
They
even.
understand. They have their own normal. They have their own way of seeing things.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, they even reminds you of Sitare
Movie, yes.
Yeah. So, I mean, these are beautiful things, but they do not need our sympathy.
Yes.
All they want is empathy.
Empathy. They need our empathy and acceptance that they exist, and we need to upgrade ourselves to accept them. Right? We need to upgrade. They are what they are. You know, the best part of having into the spectrum or having a special needs is that they are very pure souls. They cannot cheat.
True.
They cannot lie. They cannot do anything which is not acceptable in the societal norm, because they don't understand even the sarcasm.
Yeah.
They are that pure soul.
They are pure soul. True.
So for that, you have to somewhere or the others, you have to be with pure soul. We have to get yourself better, no?
Yeah.
Because you as normal human beings, we cheat, we lie, we manipulate. These children can't do that even.
Yeah.
So we need to upgrade ourselves to work with them.
True. So, Auntie, these days, children, I feel very heartbroken, but my children, they bully and tease them. They use certain phrases like, you can't do it, you're slow. And that really breaks my heart. So, how can children be taught to interact respectively and inclusively with children who have certain disabilities?
You know, for this, I really want parents to come forward and to be buddies with these children.
Yeah.
You know, unless and until you be with them, you cannot understand their hardships, what they go through. You know, it's easy when somebody says BAT bat, you understand as BAT bat. But what if you say and I don't get what you are speaking?
Yeah.
It's it's very different for them, right?
Yeah.
If I say Ridan, you will look at me,
Yeah.
but they don't recognize that they are what their name is.
Yeah.
They don't make eye contacts at time. So to get into their shoes, we need to have buddies. They have behavioral challenges, but if parents are open to allow their children to experience that, I think we will have an inclusive society. I'll give a very beautiful example of SSWS, that is Syok Sundarji Wisdom School, when my son was there. So in that school, there was a concept of buddy.
Yeah.
And Tirth was a buddy to a special need.
Oh.
And Tirth, though that child at times was little aggressive, Tirth knew how to handle him.
Wow.
Not just because he sees a lot of special need children at our place, but overall the environment was such where he would understand. He would hold the hand and say, this is not a right way, keep your hands to yourself, rather don't hit me, or something like that if the child is hitting him. So these changes could be made if parents also take an initiative. Because there are behavioral changes in typical children even.
Yeah.
But if you understand them, if you be friend with them and have a buddy system, I think society will be inclusive and we will work in harmony with each other.
True. Sometimes parents, they feel hesitant to choose where should their child go, which school. So is a mainstream school advisable for children with disabilities? And what factors should parents weigh?
See, if a child is school ready and the spectrum is mild, children do get adjusted.
Yeah.
The important is the child ready for the school? If those factors are clear, child will be adjusted in the school. There's no problem. So mainstream school will also go with it. But if the child is not ready for the school, then the mainstream they are not that equipped to handle these children. Because at times teachers are not been that trained. Every school doesn't have a special need educator or teachers being trained at that level. So this is parents' responsibility. What environment do they want to give? Do they want to give them the environment in which they are being taunted all the time? Just being into mainstream? Because there's always a comparison, and whatever is taught in a mainstream school at what pace may not suit the child with autism the same pace. You need to have certain different strategies to deal with it. And possibly if that child has little behavioral issue, can disturb the whole class. So is the school ready for it? Are you ready to be called to school every day? So these are the different factors that they need to see before getting an admission.
Especially how the children are. Are they kind and composing? Are they
will they accept the child?
Will accept the child.
That is more important. If the school is not accepting the child, your child feels left out, and again that builds up to an aggression within a child.
And demotivation. Cool. Can children with special needs achieve great things in life?
Absolutely, there is no second thought about it. There are children who have achieved so many good things. See, now we have 10 who are working. As I told you in job fair. But every year when we give them award, they have their graduation degrees, they are excelling in sports, they are excelling in entrepreneurship. So many things that they are doing. It's just that we need to have little patience working with them. They also develop in a way that we are developing. Moreover, they have that different sense of understanding things that we don't have at times. They have that within themselves. They have a very good musical touch, understanding. They are very emotional. We say that autism children are not social, which is very true. But they are not social, but they are emotional at the same time. We need to understand that aspect of this.
And I also agree with you. There are many people as well, like Steve Jobs, then Walt Disney, and as we know, Albert Einstein.
Absolutely.
So one thing in common is their creativity and divergent thinking skills.
Absolutely.
Steve Jobs had that visuality that founded Apple, that created the first fully touch screen phone.
True.
Then the out of the box thinking, like Richard Branson, and how he is today with his amazing business strategies. He's now one of a millionaire.
Absolutely. So the examples that you are giving are of LDs who have dyslexia because they think differently. But special needs also, we have many who are getting Para-Olympic medals for us.
Yeah, true. Like Murlikar Petkar sir.
Yes, absolutely. The legend that we know since we have worked with him, we know him.
Over 300 Olympic medals. That is something that nobody can achieve. He set that point. He is an inspiration of the world.
Absolutely. He's not just an inspiration. Because of him, so many have inspired, and we have the whole team going to the Para-Olympics because of him.
True. Then Shrikant Bhosle ji. I've seen his movie and it's truly heart-touching. How he had faced many challenges, many people teased him, but how he stood strong and how he's progressed. So how do you help parents move from feeling overwhelmed to feeling empowered when having a child with special needs?
So it is a journey. First of all, they need to accept it, because a parent at times feel the future is darker.
Yeah.
If something is darker, then obviously they are overwhelmed, they don't know what to do. But I feel if you give them the perspective that if you work in this small steps with the child, eventually we'll be able to have a better future with the child. For example, if the diagnosis is done in the early age, the child goes for its proper therapies into special school, the possibility of the child getting into main school is also there. Plus, there are many career options open for them. And the best part, the government is also allowing these children to be accommodated in the corporate sector even. So there are things that we can do with these children. Plus, we have NIOS option where, as per their capability, they can give the papers, get the degree, and NIOS is recognized worldwide.
Yeah.
Right. So your children are not left; they are also educated. But eventually, a parent needs to develop a vocational training along with it.
Okay.
So that financially the child is stable.
Yeah.
Because a parent always has this question, what after me?
Yeah, what after me? True.
Right. So if the child is financially stable, they are secured enough. Okay. The child is able to do by itself. So these parents have to put on a lot of efforts, but if guided properly, step by step, then I feel it becomes easy for them, because they also see the progress in their child.
Yeah.
Let me give you one beautiful example of Akshay Shanbag.
Yeah.
Akshay Shanbag is a special need child. He's 22 years. He's there with Cummins now. He is engineer from IIT. He has done his internship with IIT Bombay.
Okay.
Right?
Wow.
So we have, if the parent really work on them, we have a beautiful outcomes too.
Yeah.
Not just one, but there are multiple.
True.
Multiple examples we have in which the children have excelled, and they're doing good not just in corporates but also in entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
There is Pooja. She was there with Nanna Gyan. She's an author.
Okay.
Right? She's a content writer. So it doesn't matter what you are, but if there's a proper family support, these children do excel. So first thing, we need to teach the parents is the acceptance.
True. And even before that, there was one child, Rohan, who had come to our house, and he is beautiful. Rohan. He does both normally and sketches, and he even draws online. Yeah.
Wow.
So he came to us, and even the mother was wonderful. She was all ready to support Rohan in his passion, and that is something truly beautiful. And I can really connect with what you are saying.
Exactly. There are many who are into beautiful singing. Recently, one of the companies called Engage for More. It's an online platform.
Okay.
Wherein they provide platforms to different artists. Since we have a platform of inclusive carnival, where I'm sure you would have seen beautiful performances coming from the children.
Yeah.
So above 18, they hire them for different concerts.
Okay.
Where for the corporates that they have, they have been paid for one of the concerts as per there's an agreement made, and they have been taken care of. So even if you are excelling in singing, dancing, or comedy, they do take you as artists. So this is one of the tie-ups that we had it from Nandadia.
That's wonderful. So, Auntie, as you were saying before, that what if after them, as the parents ask themselves. So these days, one of the common concern of parents of a disabled child is how will my child independently cope up after them. So I've also seen parents pushing their child too hard, which makes the child feel agitated or helpless. So from your experience, what can parents do to foster independence in their child without making them feel too pressured?
Actually, the pressure is with them.
Yeah.
Is not with the child, is with them. They feel, what if the age is not, if this age goes, and how's the child going to learn? So that's why they are forcing it. Even if you force, the child is going to take its own sweet time to understand things. For that, the parent has to mellow down and accept. Again, it comes to acceptance.
Yeah.
Accept the pace, it's going to be this. Now, how do I work with the child? There are a lot of parents who have teenage or adolescent or adult children who are in spectrum.
Yeah.
But they have shown the patience, and accordingly they are doing a lot of things.
Okay.
Like one of the wonderful example I can give you of Karen ma'am. She has a setup called Buddy Center.
Buddy Center.
Yes. Her daughter Kanachka, she generally gets this epilepsy. She falls. And it was that frequent that, even in standing she could fall.
Okay.
But she's a teacher at the Buddy Center.
Yeah.
And she has many students who are a helping support for these children to grow.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So you need to give them, because they have their own physical limitations, at times intellectual limitations. So we need to work with them. Even if you push them too hard, you're not going to get a result.
Yeah. You have to guide them nicely, slowly, calmly.
You know, understand their pace of understanding. The moment you understand, my child, understand this thing this way, let me take a step. Because they have regression also, wherein if you have worked with them for some time, and if there is a lapse or regression, they may forget. Again, you have to start with them.
True.
Because it is what they are. Right? Even if you're going to have many expectations from them, things may not fall into place. But having belief in them that they will do it is what we are. And scenarios in year 20 from now, things have changed. The things have been changing from past few years. It is not the same as earlier. We have more opportunities. We have more schemes coming for them. Technology has been advancing where they can work. So things have been advancing.
True.
So the children now who have spectrum, they have a more better future.
True, yeah. What is one thing about your work that most people don't know and you feel is very important?
A lot of people think that we are actually they are confused at what we do exactly. So let me tell you that we are a counseling firm. Our core is to counsel people, to help, to understand, to create a bridge. With that, we have a remedial center where we work with children with special needs and with children who have learning difficulties. Plus, we have a platform that we were discussing about, that we have Inclusion Carnival, we have Umeed Awards, we have Healing Light Awards. These are the platforms that we have. But apart from that, we are into spirituality.
Oh.
We are into, and that is an integral part of Nanna Gyan Foundation, that we are into spirituality. We believe in, there is a divine who's really doing a lot of things. Without that divine intervention, we as human cannot help anybody else.
Okay.
So that is an integral part that nobody knows about it. People know that, yes, some aspect of it, but we truly have that thing in place. So a lot of children who come to us, when they see a change in few days, it's possibly because there is that healing been happening with them, that we do it for every event, before going to event, or when we are planning for an event. We'll do a lot of invocation, we do a lot of healing, we do a lot of praying that those who are coming for this purpose
should be healed.
And in that process, we also are healing. We are also healed.
So, where did this spirituality belief come from?
See, spirituality belief came into existence when I became a part of pranic healing.
Okay.
I'm a pranic healer, an erratic yogi. So, it was 2018 when I started with my journey with pranic healing. You know, after doing NLP, after doing so much, there was no change, because there is certain things which are very subtle energies are there, and I could sense that, but I don't know what to name it. But when I went in the school of pranic healing, and with the grace of my master, I understood the knowledge of chakras, the power of healing, that these two hands could create so much of magic without touching anybody. And with that thought process, it is an integral part that we have taken into that any child who comes to us for 12-day course, that is handwriting improvement course, or for a remedial center, we make sure that we are healing them, because results are eventually seen. And when the children go from one place to another, that is there with them, the changes are still there with them. So that thing have come from pranic healing.
Okay, so pranic heal is one place, right?
Pranic healing is a school where we are being taught to heal. It's a like, see, you and me, we can see each other, but there's an aura around us, right? There is an energy in and around us. So anything that comes to your body comes from that aura.
Oh, that's deep.
Yes, it's deep. And anything that is affecting you, it has a lot of subtle thing into it. So if you work on that, your physical body, your mental body, your emotional body is healed already.
Okay.
So a lot of see, when we say we are in stress, what is that stress? That is something black energy, or I would say a lot of noise which is there in your aura. We clean that aura and then you are able to focus.
Okay.
आपने notice किया आपकी मम्मी आपकी नजर उतारती है? And then you feel good. Why? Because your aura has been cleaned then. जब वो नमक से ऐसे करते हैं तो आपका ऑरा क्लीन हो जाता है, राइट? जब वो क्लीन होता है, बेटर तरीके से सोच पाते हो, कर पाते हो.
More clear mind.
Yes.
Wow, now that's opened a huge perspective to things over here. No, that's a wonderful thinking. I mean, but I think you have a lot of aura, auntie. No black energy, full of aura.
Thank you. See, everywhere we all have it. If we start working on ourselves, I think we all can expand our auras and
feel more better,
calmer. Have you ever realized with some people we feel very comfortable and we feel, oh, after talking to this person I feel very relaxed. We feel good. Why? Because that aura was good. And that exchange of energy was very good. At times when we meet, even for a person, even for a minute, यार नहीं बात करना इससे, because that aura was irritating
you.
Right? And even if that person has not said anything, there is a drift. These are the things that when we talk about Nanna Gyan, nobody knows it, but we practice it day in and day out, because I feel since we deal with children with special needs and they are the divine connection, it's not me who can heal them. It's ultimately the divine who's going to work with them. We are just the medium. So Nanna Gyan is just the medium or a channel to work with these children.
Okay. Wow, that's a huge perspective. So, how do you use spirituality? What practices do you do for spirituality?
See, first of all is the meditation.
Yeah, meditation.
Before that, before any meditation, the first part comes with an intention.
Intention.
And the intention is that we are just a channel. We are not the karta.
Okay.
I am not the doer. I cannot make somebody feel happy or I cannot heal anybody. I am a medium.
A medium.
So the intention first flows from an intention that I am a medium. I am being used as a medium for somebody.
Yeah.
Okay? When that has been done, then you have meditations. Then you have different healing modalities that comes into picture.
Like affirmations as well.
Affirmation is one of them.
Yeah.
Then chanting is one of them.
Yeah.
Mantra chanting is one of them. Using symbols is one of them.
Okay.
So there are different modalities that people practice.
Yeah.
Right? So we do that. In pranic healing, we do chakra healing. We do a lot of psychic healing also.
Yeah.
Right? So at different school, there are different things. But spirituality in any form is good thing. If we are doing with first right intentions.
Right intentions, true.
Thought of giving back.
Yeah.
And using yourself as a channel between divine and that person.
Okay.
If you have these things in place, the right thing, the right corrections happen.
Okay.
Because to this, if this is a white energy, there is a black energy too.
Yeah.
Right? So this is the way where we work with the children. Because when they come, the parents surrender. कि भाई आपको जैसे करना है कर लो. So they give us the permission where we heal them at our own pace through meditation. ऐसा नहीं कि बैठ के एक को heal कर रहे हैं, but putting an intention that they are growing faster.
Growing faster, yeah.
This is the way they need to grow. This is the way this needs to be channelized.
That's wonderful. Even me and my mother and my dad, we sometimes wake up early in the morning and we do Isha Kriya. We meditate. Sadhguru so we do Isha Kriya sometimes. So even we are also planning to start meditation once again to call upon the divine energy. Yeah.
Any form of divine work has to be done because in this era when we have so much of technology, intelligence is not a question. Having emotional balance is more important.
Yeah.
Your emotional quotient plays a very vital role in this era.
Okay.
Because if you're emotionally stable, nobody can take over your work.
Yeah.
Right? Are you getting it?
Yeah. I'm getting it.
So for that you need to have that because AI is doing a lot of your work.
True.
Right?
Yeah.
AI is going to is been taking a lot of things. But if you have that thing in mind, it is a state where you feel there's no competition for it.
Yeah.
You are unique your way and you're in a better situation to handle pressures.
True.
Because they are going to increase every day.
Yeah.
A person with more emotional stability is able to handle life pressures.
So Auntie, what is your perspective on AI?
AI, somewhere it's making you grow very faster, but the dependency is increasing a lot.
Yeah.
For every small thing, you are getting dependent on AI. I'll give you a recent example. A friend's daughter, she was not able to, identify which career she wants to go.
Yeah.
She did few career counseling sessions and one fine day she sat with ChatGPT. You ask me the question till we pinpoint what career I want to do.
Okay.
Rather than discussing with someone else, she started chatting with the AI. So I feel that in the present, so it's fine, the child is using it, but the human connection that we have, somewhere we are losing it out.
Yeah.
And we humans are social animals.
Yeah.
If we don't have that social connect, I think the era of depression could be seen sooner.
True. Because now ChatGPT, all of these Gen AI is becoming more dangerous by the second. A few days ago, I heard one news that AI was actually threatening people that do not close my software, do not update me. I'm as this is. So using the information that people store there, ask there, they used it to threaten.
See, we have made AI, and if we are getting threatened by AI, remember there are few movies that we have seen in the past that will be sent to some other planet. Possibly that could, I mean, jokes apart, but it is made by us. We should know how to handle it properly. Rather than getting dependent so much on AI, we should know where to use and when to use.
True, because these days the dependency is also increased, as you said. I mean,
for every small thing you ask AI, what do I do?
Yeah.
You don't know? You're asking ChatGPT, what do I do? I mean, I've seen a lot of weird examples these days, so...
No, but these days things are going haywire. I mean, where we used to use our own mind, remember, to think, to build up, these days AI has changed
everything
world.
So true. If I'm writing stories, putting up the bullet points and the whole story comes into a place. Where are your skills of writing and thought-provoking? Where's the block? You're giving everything on a platter.
Yeah. Just create me the story, just do something, create me one short story. It creates, and one thing that you never expected.
Exactly. So in this, you are actually harming your creativity. You're harming, I won't say harming, but you're getting dependent more on it. So your natural talent is somewhere or the other is getting decreasing or being underdeveloped.
Yeah. No, I truly agree with you. Oof, that was interesting. Spirituality, AI. So, Auntie, finally, speaking on your book, Awakening Parenthood, Volume 1, it was an honor of Visual Publishing to publish it.
Absolutely, it was my honor to get it published from there because the love and affection, the publication, Radhika has put an effort, could be seen in the book.
Yeah.
With every detailing that she has done. I have written just a story, but making into reality is the hard work of Radhika and Richword Publication. Without them, I don't think this book would have been existing. From the cover page to every minute detail, more than me, I think she was involved in it.
Yeah, so for all who are watching This Is Awakening Parenthood, please do read it. It's beautiful. I've also read it, a little truthful, but it truly captures the essence of parenting, explain key concepts and real life situations. So it's a beautiful book, and to everybody I say as well.
So if you don't want to read big novels, read short stories which are life based, situation based, and what needs to be done. There are a lot of takeaways.